Hello dear students, I am your educator Burhanuddin and it's time to cram. This is the series of acid, base and salt, chapter 2, class 10 and this is 18th video lecture of the series. So let's start the video. So in today's video lecture, we are going to talk about section 2.4 that is more about salt and particularly we are going to talk about section 2.4.1 that is family of salt and activity 2.13. So these are the list of topics which I had already covered in my previous video lectures in details. To watch it, click the I button. So if you had watched my previous video lecture then we had seen many reactions and in many reactions we had noticed that salt are produced. If we react acid and base, then salt and water will be produced. This is the basic reaction and it is also known as neutralization reaction. But other than these, we had noticed that in other reaction also salt has been produced, like if we react acid and metal, then also we had noticed that salt and hydrogen gas is produced. If we react base and metal, then also we had noticed that salt and hydrogen gas is produced. If we react metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate with acids, then again salt and carbon dioxide and water is produced. If we react metal oxide and acid, then also we have noticed that salt and water is produced. If we react base and non-metal oxide, then also we have noticed that salt and water is produced. So salt is formed during various reactions. Now let's talk about family of salt with the help of activity 2.13. Write the formula of the salts given below. Potassium sulfate, sodium sulfate, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, copper sulfate, sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, sodium carbonate and ammonium chloride. Chemical formula of sodium sulfate is K2SO4. Now here I would like to give you a tip. In case in exam you forgot the chemical formula of any compound, then you can remember it from the given compound name only. Like if we talk about potassium sulfate, so what is the chemical formula of potassium? That is K plus. And what is the chemical formula of sulfate? That is SO4 2 minus. So here SO4 is having minus 2 charge, so we need plus 2 charge, but K has only plus charge, so we will add one more potassium atom, then it will be plus 2 and it will be balanced. So the chemical formula of potassium sulfate is K2SO4. Like this you can remember and write chemical formula of any compound. If you want more such tips and tricks, then comment in the comment box. Now chemical formula of sodium sulfate is Na2SO4. For calcium sulfate it is CaSO4. For magnesium sulfate it is MgSO4. For copper sulfate it is CuSO4. For sodium chloride it is NaCl. For sodium nitrate it is NaNO3. For sodium carbonate it is Na2CO3 and for ammonium chloride it is NH4Cl. So take a snapshot of this. Now let's identify the acids and base from which the above salts are produced or obtained. So here just few seconds before we had seen the chemical formula of 9 salts. Now we are going to see that from which acid and base those salts are formed. So we know that when acid and base react with each other, then salt is produced. So let's see some reaction from which the above salts are obtained. So basic reaction for production of salt is acid and base gives respective salt, depends on acid and base. Potassium sulfate is formed by the reaction of sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, and potassium hydroxide, that is KOH. Sodium sulfate, that is Na2SO4, is produced by the reaction of H2SO4 and NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. Calcium sulfate is formed by the reaction of H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, and COH whole twice, that is calcium hydroxide. MgSO4, that is magnesium sulfate, is produced by the reaction of sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, and magnesium hydroxide, that is MgOH whole twice. Copper sulfate, that is CuSO4, is produced by the reaction of sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, and copper 2 hydroxide, that is CuOH whole twice. And NaCl, that is sodium chloride, which is also known as common salt, is produced by the reaction of hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, and NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. NaNO3, that is sodium nitrate, is produced by the reaction of nitric acid and sodium hydroxide. Na2CO3, that is sodium carbonate, is produced by the reaction of carbonic acid, which is also known as Cu, that is H2CO3, and NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. Then ammonium chloride. It is formed by the reaction of hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, and ammonium hydroxide, that is NaOH. So these are the base required and these are the acid required to form these respective salts. Now let's see which acids and which base are used. So acid used are sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, hydrochloric acid, that is HCl, nitric acid, that is HNO3, and carbonic acid, that is H2CO3. And base used are sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, magnesium hydroxide, that is MgOH whole twice, calcium hydroxide, that is COOH whole twice, potassium hydroxide, that is KOH, copper 2 hydroxide, that is COOH whole twice, and ammonium hydroxide, that is NH4OH. So take a snapshot of these and these also. Now let's move to salts having the same positive and negative radicals are said to belong to a family. Yes, it is true. Like if both the salts having same radicals, then they will belong to a same family. As example given here, that NaCl and Na2SO4. Here you can notice that in sodium chloride and sodium sulfate, sodium is common, which means that it belongs to family of sodium salt. In example of sodium chloride and potassium chloride. Here you can notice that chloride is common in both the salts, so they belong to chloride salt family. So how many families can you identify among the given salt in this activity? So here we have to find the family of salt from the above given 9 salts. So here I had categorized it in two parts, that is first is sodium salt and another is other group of salts. So sodium salts are sodium sulfate, sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, and sodium carbonate, and other group of salts are classified as potassium salts, magnesium salts, ammonium salts, chloride salts, sulfate salts, and nitrate salts, etc. So this was your activity 2.13. Hope you liked and understood it. The next video lecture of acid, base and salt series will be 2.4.2, that is pH of salts. Notes are uploaded on the bloggers page of Time to Cram. So visit the bloggers page to download the notes, and the link of the bloggers is given in the description box. So check the description box, get the link and download the notes. And if you find this video helpful and informative, then like it and do share it with your friends and classmates. And yet you had not subscribed to our channel Time to Cram, then subscribe it. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you will get latest notification and update when new video is uploaded. That's all for today's video lecture. Thank you.